Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and today we're heading to the Southwest, Arizona, for 10 days to search for North America's most venomous and notorious reptiles. This adventure will take us through scorching lowlands, treacherous mountain crags, and the awe-inspiring Sky Island Mountains. Let's go. An adventure is only as good as the people you have it with. So me and my friend Cole,
for all the ladies in the audience,
resident drone operator, cinematographer, and mushroom enjoyer,
I'm in charge.
met up with fellow wildlife YouTubers Benzina
It's a winder!
and Spencer Hoffman.
Spencer, what are you looking for?
Grasshoppers.
Our goal was to find one of the most secretive and elusive venomous snakes in the state, the Sonoran coral snake.
and wendigos.
We're not finding a wendigo.
So we headed off for the lowland desert, a habitat that homes some of the world's most notorious and incredible reptiles.
That's a snake, and I look like a little rattlesnake. This is a Mojave.
It's a Mojave?
It's like a micro Mojave. It's a newborn Mojave.
That is a little neonate Mojave rattlesnake. This is actually the world's most venomous rattlesnake species by toxicity and venom amount. A Mojave of this size isn't going to have a high venom yield. Probably wouldn't kill me. Now I could tell this was a Mojave the second I walked up. The first thing I saw was the tail and I went, okay, immediate Mojave. But also you can look at the patterning. If you've seen enough of these snakes, I could pretty much look at the patterning and go, okay, that's a Mojave. But the other thing is the face. They have a little bit of a subtly different face. They have a little bit less of a pronounced eye mask. They've got a little bit more white along their face. Ooh, I'm sorry. And they've got a little bit of patterning on their head, a little bit of speckling on the nose. Mojaves can range in their coloration depending on their locality a good bit, but some of them you'll get are the green Mojaves, some of them you get that are like ghost white. So it really just depends on where you're getting your Mojave from. World's most venomous rattlesnake. Really hoping we end up finding an adult, but even if we don't, we can't say we didn't see a Mojave because we saw this little cutie. We're gonna go ahead, get you out of here, get you somewhere safe. Good grief.
Riding roads for snakes is always an enjoyable experience, but sometimes you run into something kind of sad.
Yeah, dead gopher. Sorry, Ben. Oh, no! No. Oh, my first picture of this. Why you be dead, though?
How do your hopes and dreams feel right now, Ben?
This is very sad. It'll get better.
Luckily, our next non-venomous snake of the night was perfectly alive and well, and it kind of looked like a coral.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We saved it. It's alive. Good job. Great little common snake out here. That is a long-nosed snake. This is particularly an orange-phased long-nosed snake. They can also be black and white out here. I'm sure we'll see that while we're out here. This is a bit of a smaller one. They can get 2.5, 3 feet at maximum size, but I don't think this would be considered an adult. I would consider it a subadult, but they're a smaller snake. They call it long-nosed snake because they got that big old pointy nose, very pointy nose, and the black and white ones can kind of look like a California king snake. So you got to look at that face to really recognize your long-nosed snakes. And one thing that's interesting looking at this snake, it has that black and orange coloration. Sometimes they have that yellow coloration. These are one of the snakes that kind of throws people off when they're looking at like coral snakes and things like that. Coral snakes have a very rounded snout. Longnose have that really pointy snout, hence the name longnose snake. They kind of remind me of a scarlet snake. They're like a desert scarlet snake. What a charming little guy. We're gonna go ahead and put him back, keep looking for more snakes, but that is awesome little longnose snake.
Starting off with the most venomous rattlesnake and a coral look-alike is a pretty awesome start, but these guys are much more common than the snake we're looking for. The next day, we're heading further south to chase the monsoon rains, and in the process, we got to meet up with some local legends.
Where are we headed again?
Gotta go meet up with a couple of YouTubers I know. Pretty cool people. Charged them $9.99 because they want to get a coral snake. Think we can get one?
You know, if that Benzino's there, he's got that chill energy, so if we do get one, I think it's just going to be a real placid one.
Rob and Nicholas have been snake hunting for years, and in fact, 15 of those years are actually here on YouTube, over on the Smet Logic channel.
Don't ever give up on your dreams, kids, because wow.
Their local expertise is incredible, and Rob says that corals are definitely moving. Now, I have no idea how he knows this, but I think I'm going to trust the expert on this one. With our squad assembled, the snake hunt began. And it wasn't too long until we found our first snake of the night.
Yeah, we're pretty good, yeah.
Not bad.
That's not bad for an amateur, seriously.
Rare arboreal blacktail that we get here in Arizona. These guys are pretty sweet. Got a nice gold coloration that can actually vary quite a bit from area to area. This guy's kind of a central Arizona blacktail, so it's a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more tan. But yeah, just a sweet animal.
You spotted that real well. What was your thought process? Just
Thought
looking
process,
down?
you know, I always try to look up in the trees for the croats, you know. People don't tell you those secrets, but
I was seeing you shine up in the trees. I'm like, man, he's looking for like a really cool find of like an atrox up in the trees or something. So that was really cool. That was a good
nice to
eye.
get one. You know, sometimes you just get lucky, man. That's really all it is. Gonna let him get on his way. Good stuff.
Back to your arboreal life.
What a spot by Nicholas. And immediately after releasing the first one, he spotted another one.
Hang on.
That's a different one.
One's right here.
What?
This one's facing this way.
What?
Dude, I don't know.
What?
Heading towards the other one.
Whoa.
Now I've seen that where there's male female, but
That's
not like
cool.
this in a tree, man. Pine snakes are on the ground.
Vine snakes are on the ground, the rattlesnakes are in the trees. These snakes are really mild-mannered, very calm and placid. But our next rattlesnake of the night is one of the most toxic rattlesnakes around, and is much more fidgety.
Huge tiger.
Huge tiger.
My goodness. Tiger.
I got a tiger rattlesnake. This one is really big for a tiger. We think it's gravid, so we're just gonna let this lady kind of scoot on her way. But man, there's another tiger right down the road. It's the night of the tigers and the corals. You pay $9.99. This is what you find right here.
$9.99 for smetlogic.com.
As we walked along the trail, it was apparent that the recent rain had had animals on the move. But if I'm gonna be honest, even though it was my #1 goal, I never expected to see what we saw.
Yay! No way, I thought it was a long nose. Oh, you thought it was a long nose.
Brother, there's no way.
Yo! It's my first to laugh at. Oh my gosh!
That we were just
This is
talking. I was just gonna go, man, the corals are cool to see.
We're just talking about elapids.
Here we go, guys. This is the Sonoran coral snake. An absolutely incredible little venomous snake that's living out here in the Sonoran Desert. Now, we were just walking along very casually, me, Ben, Cole, and just came straight out onto the pavement. This weather is absolutely incredible for coral snakes. They're actually a very elusive snake species. You're typically not going to see these guys out. In fact, this is the best time of year to see them during the monsoon season. The reason that they're coming out right now is because of all this rain. Really good time to see them coming out on the move from those little burrows. Otherwise, they're spending pretty much their entire lives underground. It's really crazy. It's very fascinating how species can just live underground for such long periods of time without having to come up. Just because it's small doesn't mean I'm going to pick it up. This right here, about as close as I ever want to get to this little snake. There's no reason for me to grab it. There's no reason for me to touch it. And I'd say the same to you. Just use a little stick, use a little hook. It's just not a snake that you want to pick up. Never risk anything with this animal. They're a highly toxic snake. They're an elapid. Same family as cobras, taipans, browns, you name it. They've got that little thin head, little thin jowls, unlike a pit viper. Pit vipers have those big jowls. Honestly, they look like a typical snake. Typical little head, typical little body. They get much bigger than this. They can be a couple feet in length, although that would be a pretty massive one. This one's probably around, I would say, might barely be pushing a foot. I would say like 10 inches is a bit of a safer guess there. Little black head. That's something interesting about coral snakes, is they typically have a black head. This isn't the case for all coral snakes, but at least across the Americas, they'll have a yellow band around their head and then kind of a black snout. This one's got pretty much a all black head and then kind of a white banded neck. It's very interesting. They've got a very faded coloration in comparison to the Texas and eastern corals. It's kind of like they've lost their saturation out here, except for that orange. That orange is very bright. You can see it's got very wide black bands, and that's definitely not the norm for this snake. They're very variable. You can have some that are high red, high white, high black. It balances pretty well on the hook. They're not necessarily a climbing snake, but he doesn't mind holding on for me. And they're not aggressive. There is a chance, very real chance, that I could just set him in my hand. He wouldn't do a thing. Don't do that. Not worth the risk. There's no reason to be doing that. The only reason we're messing with this snake is to show you guys and just enjoy seeing him. Sonoran coral. What a gem. I mean, we're really lucky to be seeing this animal. There's people that have lived their whole lives in Arizona and they never go and they never see these animals, but there's nature all around them, there's parks all around them, and they're filled with animals just like this. I have to be like Rob, I have to be out here every single day. They're very whippy. They're a very whippy little snake, and if you grab them, they're especially whippy, but notice how he's just crawling along, not an aggressive bone in the snake's body. Rob, can I get you over here for a second? I want to get that professional knowledge over here.
That's right.
Because you actually know about these snakes. I'm just talking.
No, you nailed all the points. I think the main point was, as you said, what are we going to see tonight? And what did I say?
Yeah, you said coral right off the bat. Now, what's one of the first things that you thought that made you think, oh yeah, coral weather?
You know, honestly, all joking aside, I've seen 2 or 3 this week, and so I don't know what's bringing them out, but every once in a while you get that where a species will come out, and that's exactly what's been going on here. Is that for some reason the corals are out, so I'm guessing their prey's out. They like the weather. We haven't had that much rain, so I think it started to rain, and they said it's time to eat. So yeah, man, what a cool snake.
Well, great. Hey. Great intuition there.
Yeah,
I mean, good grief. Man. A pro's a pro, and let me tell you, I'm not a pro of the Sonoran Desert. I highly recommend going and checking out some of their videos because they've been at this out here, out west, for a very long time. A lot of knowledge and a lot of fun adventures over there. You've really catalyzed a lot of the healthiest wildlife enjoying, especially when it comes to reptiles out west.
Appreciate that, man.
I mean, I see you you're the happiest, nicest, from the lowest novice, somebody who really is just found a racer snake in their yard.
Right.
So somebody who's going over to the Colombian jungles and trying to discover new species.
Yeah.
You really have done a wonderful job interacting with people and just promoting more love and more care for animals and just more community. So
yeah,
I want to especially thank Rob for that.
Appreciate that, man.
Smet Logic, weeks and months looking for special animals. He's not just filming anything, he's filming some really special animals.
Yeah, we got stuff coming up. Mexico. Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the first 10 views. That's all I can say about that.
Appreciate the kind words, man. We try to keep it fun. We really do. And it's neat to see you guys do this behind the scenes. This is a really cool, a lot goes into these videos. You do a good job, man. You got a good channel.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, we're gonna go ahead and put this coral snake back. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to check out the time that we found the coral snake in my home state of Louisiana a few years back. And we will see you guys next time. All right, time to get this snake back off the road. That is insane.